In data analysis, we often want to predict outcomes. Sometimes we estimate how much something is, like the price of a house. Other times we predict the category of something, like whether a customer will click buy. Two basic tools help us do this: simple linear regression and logistic regression. They sound similar, but they solve very different problems. Let's break down the key differences. First, a quick recap of simple linear regression, which you might already know. Remember that simple linear regression is used when we want to predict a continuous outcome, a variable that can take on different numerical values like temperature, height, or sales figures. It models the relationship with a straight line. But what happens when our outcome isn't a continuous number? What if we want to predict whether an email is spam or not spam, or whether a patient has a certain disease? These are categorical outcomes, often with only two possibilities. We call that binary. Trying to fit a straight line here doesn't really work. The predictions could be below 0 or above 1, which doesn't make sense for categories. This is where logistic regression comes in. It's specifically designed to predict categorical outcomes, most commonly binary outcomes. Instead of a straight line, it uses a different mathematical approach that results in an S-shaped curve. So, the fundamental difference lies in the dependent variable, y you're trying to predict. Simple linear regression predicts a continuous variable, the question of how much. Logistic regression predicts a categorical variable, the question of which group or yes/no. This leads to a second difference, the shape of the model and what it outputs. Simple linear regression uses a straight line and directly predicts the value of y. Logistic regression uses an S-shaped curve, called a sigmoid function, and predicts the probability of y belonging to a certain category. This probability is always between 0 and 1. The interpretation of the results is also different. In simple linear regression, the slope directly tells us how much y changes for a 1-unit change in x. In logistic regression, the coefficients relate to the log odds of the outcome. This is a bit more complicated, but basically, they tell us how a change in x affects the odds or likelihood of the outcome being yes, and this effect isn't constant across all x values like it is with a straight line. Let's quickly summarize the comparison. Use simple linear regression when your outcome is continuous and you need a straight line model to predict its value. Use logistic regression when your outcome is categorical, especially binary yes/no, and you need an S-curve model to predict the probability of belonging to a category. Choosing between the two is quite simple. Look at your dependent variable, y. Is it a measurement on a scale? Linear regression. Is it a category or group membership? Logistic regression. So, while both simple linear and logistic regression model relationships between variables, they are suited for different types of prediction tasks, based on the nature of the outcome you're interested in. Knowing the difference is key to applying the right statistical tool. Was this comparison helpful? Let me know with a thumbs up. Subscribe for more explanations of data science and statistics concepts. Do you have any questions or other topics you'd like to see compared? Leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.